Hey folks, this is Gray here, and today we're going to be looking at something innovative by EcoFlow. It is called the Glacier. It is the world's first portable refrigerator, freezer, and believe it or not folks, ice maker. In this video, we're going to do several different things. First, we're going to kind of look at the Glacier from the outside and look at how it looks. We're going to use it in an environment outdoors because I don't see the sense in testing it indoors because that kind of defeats the purpose of having a portable refrigerator, freezer slash ice maker, sitting inside your house and doing a review there. Third, we're going to look at all the functions on it and whatnot and what can you do with it. We're also going to discuss how would you use this for emergency preparedness. A lot of times that we buy things for emergency preparedness, we kind of put them away and expect an emergency to arise, and that's kind of put away in our preps. This is something that you can not only use for emergency preparedness, but you can use it in your everyday life. Let's say you're going to do some things like camping, going to the beach, and so on and so forth, things of that nature. Also, when it comes to emergency preparedness, what if you were to have something like a tornado, hurricane, or something devastating to your home where you have to leave your home? Your home is still there, and the aspect of it doesn't have power, and there's some damage to your home, so they're asking you to leave and go to a place, preferably, let's say, either a friend's house who still may not have power, but their house is intact, or B, you have to go to a place that is set up for people that are kind of stuck in a situation where they don't have the capabilities of going home for quite some time. All right, so let's kind of open this thing up and get this thing set up and take a nice close look at the EcoFlow Glacier. Let's look at the way I have this configured. Currently, I have it configured with a refrigerator on one side and a freezer on the other side. And you can just pop this open and you can kind of see how I have this here. I have some water stored here. And then when I went fishing, I sealed me up some fish and stuck it on that side for now. Now you can put, of course, frozen vegetables or ice pops or whatever that you're going to be putting in there. And of course, some people will probably put some of the cold ones in there outside of water, but you can kind of get an idea. Now this basket is also removable. You don't have to have this basket in there. Now here's one really cool feature about this unit. So let's say that you just want an entire refrigerator versus you don't want the freezer aspect of it. So you can do that by removing this here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this basket out just to kind of show you guys how it works. And that's going to leave this wide open. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the fish for now, move this over to the basket. And then all you have to do, folks, is you remove this thing here. Now, some people will say, well, great, what do you do with this? Well, they've gotten really innovative on the way they do this process. And basically all this does is we'll click and store nice and neat in there, and then you have your entire refrigerator and whatnot, or freezer, however you want to have it set up. To kind of resolve that issue, you can pop this thing right back out, slap it back in, and then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I get my freezer side for my cold stuff, the stuff that I want frozen. And then you can, like I said, you can use this basket if you like. If not, you don't have to use the basket. It does make it easier to lift things out of it, but it depends on how you have it set up. So that's kind of like the basis of how you can do different configurations that you can do with the internals of this. Right now it's kind of like a 60-40 split, and like I said, it depends on what you're going to be using it for. You decide. In regards to what I just did, they do keep instructions on the inside of that, but I also want you to know this nice rubber seal that goes all the way around this, so that when you close the unit, you're getting that nice solid seal. So you can hear that click, and now it's going to, come to temperature. I had the freezer set at -4 and the refrigerator at 39. Now this will go all the way down to -13 degrees, folks. -13 degrees. Let's talk about the adjustments real quick. This is your power on and power off button. So if I was to push that button, it's going to turn the unit off. Of course, if I put it back on, it's going to turn it on. You can hold that down to fully power it down. This is telling me how much I have left in my battery, because this is where I'm running at, is on battery power. And of course, my temperatures and whatnot. To change the temperatures, you can just push this icon here, and you're going to see that blinking right there, right? And once that goes blinking, you can adjust that by just pushing the negative or positive sign, or wherever that you want that set up. And then you can push this button again. It's going to go to your freezer side, and then you can adjust that to where you want that, and then you're all set. Once you go that, it'll stop blinking, and that's where the current temperatures are set. I currently have it in eco mode because I'm running the battery and whatnot. And it also tells you what side. So the 39 degrees is on the, so it'd be your left side or my left side as well. And the freezer side is on the right side. So I like how they have that set there. This is going to give me my ice maker functions here, and we're going to go over that next. All right, so here's our ice maker. So when you open this thing up, this has a basket, of course, to remove the ice. And if you can look really close there, there is a minimum and a max line where you want to pour your water at. So we're going to go ahead and add some water to this, and at least bring it somewhat up to that certain extent, to a little bit above the minimum. I don't need to fill this thing all the way up. So as you can see there, I have the water pulled in. I'm going to go ahead and close the machine. Now everything that I'm doing, I'm going to show you that here in a little bit, is you can do all this by using the app without having to push buttons on here. If let's say you are somewhere outside or away from this unit, let's say if you're in your home or if you're at the beach or whatnot, however you have this set up, you can be able to do certain things. Now the ice maker only works on certain things because it draws a certain amount of power, but right now it's on battery power, and we're going to go ahead and create this whole situation here where we create some ice. When I push that button, that's going to tell me how long it takes to make the ice. So in 18 minutes or less, depending on how, if I have it plugged into the wall or if I have it using the battery, which is what I do have it right now, that's going to tell me how long is it going to take to make some ice. Now I'm not going to make you guys wait that long. Once it's complete, I'll show you the rest of the functions here. But remember, we push the make ice button, and then we'll go over this button here in a second. So you can use two ways of detaching the ice. You can use the app, or you can come down here and you can push this button right here to detach your ice, and that will come up, that icon will come up on there and tell you it's going to be about 20 or so seconds to detach the ice. Now the flickering, some people ask why you'll see the screen flickering like that. Whenever there's sunlight, you're going to see that flicker on camera, but in real life it doesn't flicker. So just about time for the ice to detach. It's quite intriguing how this works. The ingenuity that went behind this was quite impressive with EcoFlow. They are like these innovators when it comes to portable power and solar options. All right, so let's kind of, and one thing you don't want to do is don't move the unit like I did when you're making ice. So once the ice is done, and you can see the ice is inside there, you're going to push this button up right here. That's going to pull that up, and of course you can see the ice cubes that it made. And then what you're going to do is you're going to grab this bucket or this basket here, pull that up. Usually I pull it off to the side because it's going to drip a little bit of water. And then if you notice, the basket itself has like this little doorway right here so that you can dump your ice. Now I'm going to put this ice in my good old Gray Man cup. They're kind of like, I like the way they describe it, kind of show you the ice real fast. It's has that hole there. It's kind of like a, I guess you could say the head of a bullet shape or whatnot, right? And now you have some ice. Of course, now you can pour whatever drink that you want to cool down on there and have some ice with whatever you got prepared. This is quite impressive for a solar battery powered unit. So speaking of the battery, let's kind of look at the battery real quick and see how the battery is inserted and also the size of the battery and what you can do with it. My apologies, before we get to the battery, I do want to, some people are going to ask, and I want to be thorough in my review. If you're, let's say you're done making ice for the day, because it takes anywhere from 12 to 14 minutes to make that ice depending on how you have it being charged, be it either AC adapter or the battery or whatnot. But so you have some water in here, but you're ready to go home or you're trying to move forward past that. What you want to do is you want to come down here to the side. You're going to open up this flap here, and then you can drain all that excess water out so that when you're traveling, you don't have to worry about anything sloshing around in there. So outside of it being a nice large battery, and I'll throw the specs up on the screen so that you can see the specs a lot easier than I'm going to point them out here. But the battery itself, you can push this button to turn it on and off, as you can see that there, and you can turn it on. So if you wanted to use this battery independently, right, you can put a Type-C charger on here, and if you wanted to charge your phone or something to that extent, you can use this also as a kind of like a battery pack or whatnot outside of using it for the unit itself. But all in all, you can see the size of this battery. If you looked at one of the last reviews of one of these 12 volt portable fridges that I had. This is the older battery that I had was probably about this size. This thing is huge, folks. And like I said, EcoFlow seems to go above and beyond when it comes to the product. So to insert the battery, it's going to be the same process. It's very simple. Another thing I wanted to show you is charging this via solar. As you can see there, it shows charging, and it shows the solar panel right there. Solar panel's hooked up how you normally would through the power adapter down there, and I'm using the EcoFlow bifacial to kind of charge it, so you can kind of get an idea, because the sun has graced me with its presence, even though it's been raining. But the sun is finally up. The clouds have broken, the storm has passed, so I got a chance to show you that you can charge this via solar if you're out and about, either camping, in a situation where you have access to use the solar panel, or if you're just using something that's for fun, if you're out at the beach or whatnot, outside of the battery, you can still use the solar panel and have it charging. Hey folks, so we had to do a change of scenery because you would not believe the storm that rolled up on me. I haven't seen hail in quite some time. I mean, the wind was insane. The hail was coming down. The rain was pouring. I thought it was a tornado or something coming my way. It was just insane. But I had all my gear out there, and it was just crazy. And so I had to come back and change clothes and get home to wrap this video up. Man, it's fun sometimes doing what you do here on YouTube, but doing things outdoors sometimes will get you and kind of grab you by the boo-boos, if you know what I mean. Anyways, let's kind of wrap this up and get my final thoughts on the EcoFlow Glacier. So one thing I wanted to talk about is now that you've seen, what it can do, how does this relate to you? And how would I use it for emergency preparedness and in general everyday use? So the big thing is for everyday use, folks, like you could use it for camping trips, you can use it for going to the beach or any type of outings or going fishing, and so on and so forth. So you can kind of see some of the everyday uses of having a product like this in your possession. Now, when it comes to emergency preparedness, how can this be useful? Now, one thing I didn't show that I'm going to show now, and that I did record, is the unit itself has a set of robust wheels. And you can see it here in the clip that I took of it. The wheels are pretty robust, so it's easy to roll even with lots of weight inside of it. Second, it does have a telescoping handle that you can add to it and use that to kind of pull it along. Now, these are optional add-ons, of course, and that's just something if you want to take it that far, because other than that, it does have the two handles on the side. For me, from my perspective, it was very lightweight for what it is. But on to emergency preparedness. How would I use this, and why would this be important for me, or possibly one of you folks out there, for emergency preparedness? So let's say we're going to use this as an example. A tornado, right? Tornado, hurricane, something catastrophic like that comes and rips through your neighborhood. And it creates a situation where part of your house gets destroyed or broken, or where they say that you cannot stay in your home. But within your home, you have food that you don't want to lose. So you may not be able to pack it all into it, but you'll be able to pack some of the most important things. So let's say, for instance, you're going to go to a friend's house. Now, being that the whole area has been affected, they probably don't have power as well. So whatever food that you happen to bring, hopefully they have a grill, because maybe you want to pack this thing full of meats, right? Meats are very costly nowadays, right? So you pack this thing full of meats, and you take all those meats to the house, and you're going to be there for several days, and you want to use it to feed yourselves, as well as possibly help out the folks that are letting you stay there. Another purpose that you could use for if you don't have a place to go, like a friend or a family's house, and they take you or they tell you that you have to go to a shelter. Most of these are like gymnasiums at schools and whatnot. And let's say you bring along with this device with you with drinks and snacks in there. Instead of using it as a freezer, you use it as a refrigerator. Also, let's say you are someone who is insulin dependent and you need to take your insulin with you and it has to be chilled at a specific temperature. So do you see how this can be relevant to you as something that's portable, battery powered, and also can be used solar, AC, and so on and so forth. I guess I should start ending my videos with my question to you, my viewers. Do you see this as something that you would like to own and to have as either an emergency preparedness tool or a tool for just in general use, or kind of like that hybrid, as I like to call it, for multi-purpose, for emergencies and for daily use? It's one of those preps or one of those things that you can have that you can use and not just put on the shelf. So down in the comment section, one, if you were to get something like this, what would you use it for? Would it just be strictly for emergencies, or would you use it for everyday use as well? And so this is how I look at some of these products that get brought to my attention through companies like EcoFlow. Say, hey, would you like to review this product? We think it might work with your channel. So I try to look at the product from two different perspectives. One, how can I use it for emergencies? And second, can I use it for outside of anything else? You know what I mean? Just like the portable power stations, we can use those for not just emergencies, but we can use those for a lot of different things. And I should start, kind of diving into some of those daily uses that you can use some of these products for. Anyways, folks, look forward to hearing from you. If you're out in Florida, stay dry, be careful. The weather is nasty out there. And remember, folks, you are not alone. This is Gray Man. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the rebound, and God bless.